Yeah, it's rich in bubbly goodness.
Do you remember when you lost your passion for this work?
I invited another friend. I hope that's okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And welcome to my lunch table where friends from the fandom menace hang out, get together, and just chill and just talk nerd stuff or whatever stuff. And at the same time, get to know one of the personalities within the fandom menace. And speaking of a food menace, let me bring up my co-host Fat Steven. How you doing? You have a helmet.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my mask on. New rules, regulations on the desk.
Yeah, they didn't say what kind of mask, right?
No, this is the only mask I can actually squeeze a chicken nugget through without choking. It has enough holes so I can use a straw and wonder if my existence matters. I'm almost waking up. It's been a weird Friday. It's been a weird week. How are you doing?
Really? I'm doing good. The temperature here shifted
again with the temperature. No, not hearing it. No.
Again, no, I have to because it dropped to below freezing, and so now I have a lovely freaking head cold right now that I'm fighting off with lots of Vicks Vapor Rub and tea.
Wait. Can we go more on the Vicks Vapor Rub? Go on. What's the procedure like?
Supposedly you're not supposed to put it near your nose, but I like it because I can breathe if I put that stuff on.
And where else does it go?
Well, it goes under your neck.
And
that's it.
You bastard.
Yeah, I'm stopping there.
There we go. All right, now that I'm done sounding mildly perverted and not serious.
Let's put it this way. If you put it in certain places,
not there.
It's not going to be on time.
You breathe it down there.
Hey!
No.
You added that in. I didn't.
Okay, like for me, when I get migraines once in a while, the freeze gel, like when you have sore muscles, right? I usually put it on my forehead. And one day, I'll tell you the story. I accidentally forgot there was still a little bit on me, and I decided to scratch an itch down there. Let me tell you about the worst feeling in the world. I've heard of frozen balls. It was not frozen. It was like a burning sensation, and it was like, and like I'm running into the shower with hot water. Why isn't it working? And it just made it worse. And I'm like, okay, there you go. There's the story about Fat Steven's genitals for the morning with freeze gel. How are you? Good. We're going to delete this later. Oh wait, we're live. Damn it.
Yeah, we're live.
I hear we have someone with more intelligence than my freeze gel skills today. So
yes, we have someone who is extremely intelligent, who I love the kind of mask that you have on because it fits perfectly with who our guest today is. I have done numerous streams with her. She's like in one of my tight circles of fandom menace gals, and without further delay,
Oprah?
let me bring up our guest. Always Oprah with you. No, even better. We got OG Star Wars.
That's wrong.
What a great opening. Genital openings for the morning. It reminds me of my coffee chat with Stig.
Yeah,
oh my god!
Wait till we have you back, and we'll have a puppetry of the penis opening, and it'll be great. We'll try to make a sailboat, and I'm just losing all self-confidence with the statement. And
oh Lord! And then trying to code her into talking about her Vicks.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping she was going to talk about, I like rubbing it on the chest in a circular manner, and just get really done in there so it helps with the breathing. And I'm going to stop now because the finger's coming up and she wants me to stop talking, but I'm keep going because I haven't made big breath.
I knew where you were going. I knew where you were going.
Just like I was watching your hand where it was going on the last stream about the booby armor and kept going.
Yeah, that stream.
Yeah.
Well, it was for a good purpose, right, OG?
Yes, it was for a great cause, and it made the point. It really made the point.
It really nailed the nipple on the head.
It did, literally. Why are you scared of some jugs? Okay,
I'm not scared of jugs. They're great. They're plentiful. They're bouncing around. You guys did that show and took them for a walk. I think every man enjoyed seeing your comfortability with your femininity as well as the sexuality as not being overly sexual, but you were being comfortable with yourself, unlike Anita and her concave points of view. Like that.
Oh God.
Oh, before I forget, if you are not subscribed to Midnight's Edge, please do subscribe to them. OG and I, along with Mary Mayhem, are on a show called Toxic Femininity that airs at 10 p.m. Eastern on Midnight's Edge. Midnight's Edge also has a new live channel. I think it's Midnight's Edge Live. And the first video is our Toxic Femme Booby Gate video. So you must. That's what they kicked off the channel with. And from what I heard, it's open with a bang. So definitely do subscribe over there. And you know what? Before we get started, before people run over to go watch that video, let's welcome
I could rub my breasts if you guys want. I'll just give you a detailed watch. I'll be like, I am right now cupping the A cup of my man booby.
That's all right. That's okay.
I'm done. I'm done. I was just like booby the whole time. Booby.
Tina Bojan says, good afternoon, friends. Well, good afternoon, and so good seeing you, Tina. Tina supports so many of the chats. A lot of you guys do.
She's all over the place, man. She makes me look like a guy who needs to step up his game. But like, Tina, man, listen here, Thrawn. Listen here.
Admiral Thrawn. Let's see. We have Zachariah 315 says, howdy, Reina Creole. Howdy, OG StarWars. Howdy, Fat Steven Seagal. Well, howdy to you too, Zachariah. So glad you are here. And my boy, Pod Racing Palpatine, winner of Boonta Eve Classics, says, hello there. Well, hello to you too. I just love the Boonta Eve thing. That just goes me. It's perfect. Shane G says, hi, Lorena and Alora, parentheses, and Fat Steven.
Thanks for the parentheses. Thank you so much.
You're in your own little world.
No, I think that was a fat joke because the brackets are supposed to accentuate my belly. I think that's what he was doing, Fat Steven, but he was making fun of it.
I didn't even read it like that. But
well, I'm insecure. I read everything as a fat joke lately.
Hi, Michael Jolin. Is it Michael or Michelle? Michelle Jolin. Hi, Fat Steven. He says in action.
He's rubbing my belly. I don't know why.
Hello to you. Theme Park Casual is here. Well, how are you, Theme Park Casual? So good to see you here. And someone else is here who I miss this dude. What's up, Trinity? Second Street Marble.
Holy shit. Usually I'm always watching him. I'm always watching him. I'm just surprised to see him watching us.
He is awesome. I used to try to before things got too busy, I would catch his streams sometimes in the morning. Well, this afternoon for me, but morning for him. To catch his streams. But yeah, I've been watching Trinity for a long time. And
trim that beard, goddammit.
He's got a beard now?
You haven't watched it recently? Yeah,
no.
I'm even growing a beard. I'm at about 1.5 inches now. It's only been a month. So, wait, that sounds so wrong. I can't believe I said that out loud.
I'm gonna have to pop over by your channel again, Second Street Marvel. If you're not subscribed,
and we're gonna have to book you for 2021. Sorry to keep cutting you off.
Yes, we are. No, but that's important. We're gonna have to book you for an interview, Second Street Marvel, because literally the lunch table is booked until the middle of December, and I'm off for 2 weeks in December. We are booked up. It's just amazing, the response. To the show. Like we freaking love it. So it's like we got to have a season 2. So Trinity, we definitely have to have you on season 2.
And also if there's any free comics you don't want, you can just also send them to me because I like comics.
He's all charity. I'm a charity.
And this is the best simping you're ever going to get from Fat Steven because I'm trying to sound like not a simp, but also not so fat that I need another chicken breast. My fucking breast.
Hey, Runner.
Shut up, Runner.
He is. Hey, Runner. Oh, God. Hey, Runner. Hey, Runner. Snail Messiah is here. I don't think I've seen you here before. Says, hello, wonderful and delicious people. Happy Friday. Well, happy Friday to you, too. Delicious people. Do you eat people?
You think I cover myself in butter before every show?
I have no idea. I don't want to know either.
I can't believe it's not butter. I can't believe it.
Hello, Matthew Berkland. I think you're joining us from Istanbul. Says I couldn't find the show. Took me forever to find it again. YouTube may be shadow banning again. Which is annoying, but I'm glad you found us. So folks, please do check to make sure you're still subscribed to me and that you have the notifications all set to on so you can find me. Let's see. Brutal Morningwood. Hello. Says, speaking of, I've seen more pics of that new Wonder Girl. I wonder what Anita Sarkeesian is going to say when she sees that golden boob armor. She'll probably stomp her way to hell, but I'm just saying.
I just want to take this Sark-Reed. Yeah,
always working. Let's see. It's now that my boys are college age, it's my turn to ignore the rest of the family while watching YouTube. Yeah, you've earned that right.
Oh yeah.
But Tina, if you're not lactose intolerant, you should do it every morning. Once they're gone, you sit there, you get your coffee, you get a nice piece of cheesecake. I don't care if it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Cheesecake in the morning is like pizza in the morning. It works. Hashtag insulin.
Lady Toriel, how are you, my dear?
I love her.
She says, how is everyone this morning? Everyone is wonderful. And it's so wonderful to see you. Always wonderful to see you, my dear. Always. Let's see who else we got in here. Naughty Monkey Orath says, hey, y'all. Well, hey to you too, Naughty Monkey Orath. We have Jedi Padawan Trayla in here with us. It says, morning. Good morning to you, my dear. Cavatenio Che is with us, says TGIF ladies and Sith Lord.
That's Dartho Beast. Thank you.
Right. And we have Keck44. It says howdy. Howdy to you, Keck. We have the Jack of all casuals. Hey, Lorena, Fat Steven, OG Star Wars, and chat.
We actually had Jack playing a couple of Among Us games lately, and yeah, don't trust him. Don't trust any of these people you now see in our chats. They're all murderers. They all go after murder people. Bastards.
And Commander Ed Stracker of Shadow. Love that avatar. Hello, sexy ladies and Darth Steven. Well, hello to you too, and glad you are here with us.
I'm so glad Ron is sexy.
He's like the sexiest Smurf ever. I'll give you that.
Smurf.
He's very tall for his species, right?
Yeah.
Just wait. Later on, I'm going to take his head and put it on a prawn's body. It can be called Admiral Prawn.
Well, hello to you, Captain Trex. Says good morning, Reina Creole. Good morning. Good morning to you. And for the stream, good morning to our channel. Awesome. Well, 25 people watching us. Thank you so much. Please do share this stream. And also, please, see, I said share the stream. Share the stream. Hit the like button.
Share the stream too. Don't just hit the like button. Share the stream too. It'd be great.
Yes, because we're getting a shadow banned. I guess we're on that list. And if one of your comments goes poof.
Oh no, we're not shadow banned. You're right there on the front for my page.
Really? Oh, okay. And also, I want to say a hi to whoever the Google moderator is.
Oh, there's major feedback.
Yeah, I would say it's on my end for whatever reason.
Sorry.
Okay.
I like. Can I do one quick special announcement? I know he doesn't watch, but maybe one day he will and go, "You're not my son." But today is actually my dad's 65th birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. So if he ever does decide to turn on YouTube, he can notice that I'm embarrassing the crap out of him still later in life. But yeah, picture me, but like older, a lot more gray hair, but it's the same personality. That's pretty much what my dad is. And surprisingly, he hasn't killed me yet. Oh, shit.
Today is the last day of my work week from hell, so I can't stay. Just wanted to say good morning, guys. Well, good morning to you, and thank you so much for coming back in to come back. And you've been here to see us.
You got a pervert in the chat.
Back in there. Of course I do. Hey, Demonjanai. Says Reina Creole, where's my private session? I mean less.
Is that like a private Vicks Vapor Rub session?
No. It's in relation to StreamYards. with getting the tip bot to work, so you actually get the notification in the chat that you've gotten a tip instead of say have someone yelling at you saying, "You got a tip, you got a tip, you got a tip."
But he would change it to "You got a tit, you got a tit, you got a tit."
God,
Of course.
But speaking of Demogeni hit the hours that he needed for monetization.
Thank you, Jack. You are such a stunning and brave person. You murderer. You are a murderer.
Yes, thank you so much, Jack of all casuals, for tipping $10. We so appreciate it here to help support the channel. Thank you so much.
I don't know what it is. It's just like I've been very talkative, so I'm sorry. I'm in a good, kind of a good mood today. So it's like, oh shoot.
Thank you, Lady Tariel. Oh, thank you, good lady, for the $5. We appreciate that so much.
One day.
Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. Oh, speaking of tips, before I forget, my channel did hit the 4,000 hours required. So you guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful.
She fired me this morning.
Stop. Oh, but I could not have done it, without you guys. So thank you so much, and looking forward to getting, monetized and doing all that great stuff to put more things into the channel, offer more things into the channel, and help out other folks within the channel. Yeah. Thank you, John Beck. Step runner.
I am so proud of you, Lorena. It's a pleasure being here and being at your lunch table and seeing what you created with your channel and stuff. It's just been amazing and an honor just to watch it develop, and you have fun with your YouTube channel. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's true, because I think we follow the basic guidelines: be genuine, have fun, don't be fake, and don't get wrapped up in bullcrap. I think that's pretty much a great mindset to follow with channels.
Absolutely. I mean, OG was one of those channels who before I even had a channel, I was kind of like looking at hers and what she was doing and just how much fun her chat had interacting, with her. And that was just awesome to see. And for some folks who don't know, if you go way, way, way back in my video history, the first interview that I did, and actually what this lunch table is actually based on, is an interview that I did with OG about the dark women of the Sith.
Oh yeah, and that was
I don't remember that.
Yes, and we talked about Lord Snellen, we talked about Zana, we talked about lightsabers, lightsaber whips, all of that, and so basically it helped her establish her favorite or her own personality for a Sith Lord or Sith lady.
Was that back in the day when you were still black, Lorena?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll tell Abu to use that video for reference.
Before Abu Nas reclassified me, yes.
You're kind of more of a caramel now,
Oh, Soul Assassin. Yeah, I just hit the hours. Thank you about my Florida streams. Yeah, so I hit the hours. Just started the application process. So I will keep you all apprised. And yes, the Florida streams, I get the biggest amount of views from the Florida streams. I guess folks just love crazy.
Everybody loves crazy, and we're all bored at home because of this physical distancing, I guess you can say, and so we need to laugh, and so that's a great show to watch, to laugh, have fun and stuff. We need that. So yeah,
we really do. So OD, the question that we start out is we ask people, so what are your memories of lunchtime in school?
Oh, my memories of lunchtime at school. How fun is that? I think back now. My memories is walking, and this is high school, walking with my friends to, certain like gas stations to pick up lunch. And I always used to love getting the bean and cheese fried burritos. Those are my favorite. And
Mm.
picking them up and just having fun walking with my friends and chatting. There was 4 of us. One friend was, basically a cousin of mine, and the other 2, there's 4 of us where basically we were all best friends, and just having fun and being relaxed, being carefree, which I long for those days when you didn't have to adult. And once you become adult, it's like, damn, I don't feel like adulting today. And so those are basically the fond memories. I know one thing that happened is that we met a woman. I think she was one of our other friends, mom's friend, and she invited us in her house, and she started talking to us about weed and all this other stuff. So that was very interesting. During lunch break for high school. Yeah, so I think one of the friends did buy some weed from her, though I'm not too for sure. But I never smoked it. I did have a couple of friends that did. So yeah, that was a very good, fun, and educational time.
That's funny because we were discussing about weed yesterday, and Runner popped in asking, "Well, you guys smoke wheat?" And he was like, "Yeah, we all get down with the Wonder Bread. That's what we do. We all smoke Wonder Bread. We all get down with the wheat. Whole grains for everybody."
Yeah, that's healthier. Right? Whole grain high.
Well, I think my reply also was, no, we smoke actual stuff. You just smoke the weeds off your front lawn. Sorry.
Holy crap. Yeah, so that's basically it. I never liked school lunches. I never ever, growing up, I never ever. So I would have to eat it though, sometimes, because I was raised by my grandmother, but and that was my lunch. But oh God, school lunches were the most horrible things ever. So
yeah, I've heard that from some people. My school district, the school lunch was actually good because I went to one of those hoity-toity school districts where the lunch was actually catered. They had like a catering company come in and make it. So the food for the most part was pretty good, but they just never freaking made enough. So they'd run out of the good stuff. And then if you didn't go to lunch early enough, you got stuck with I don't know if I want this. I don't know. Like all the good pizza's gone, the burritos are gone, the nice desserts are gone, the good hoagies are gone, and just like, sucks.
Yeah.
At least the better of the worst is better than the normal school lunch that a lot of public schools have. So at least you have that.
Yes. Exactly. And it's like, I didn't know how good we had it until people would tell me, oh, you don't want to know what our lunch was like if you had lunch, because in the city, they didn't provide lunches. I thought it was weird to see McDonald's commercials where kids were coming from school to McDonald's. I'm like, no, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Sorry. For me, it was like we went out. It was for we had like a what do you call it? Like a store complex nearby. So we'd usually just go for pizza and that's it. But the cafeteria food, everyone would warn everyone. It's something like if it's moving, you don't want it. And that would just be the Pop-Tarts.
If it's moving,
I don't want to kill my meal again. Get back here, sausage. Why do you keep moving across my table? Sorry.
No, it was, I'm just laughing because I remember, I think the first couple of weeks after I'd moved to Los Angeles, I was in Hollywood in the afternoon, and I was down near Hollywood High School, and apparently there's an In-N-Out burger next to it, and literally the bell rung, kids ran out of the school, went over to In-N-Out burger to get lunch, and then take it back and eat it at school. And I'm just like, I've never seen anything like that.
The thing with me for lunch, though, like pizza days I liked, hamburger days I liked. I should explain this to you guys before, because in Canada it was kind of different depending on the school. But when I'm ADHD, right? And I was ADHD back in elementary school all the way up. And so the medication Ritalin, when I was taking it, I was never hungry for lunch. So my mom would always make a sandwich, always make a lunch. I'd never eat it. And I ended up throwing my sandwiches over in the neighbor's backyard with the dog that loved them. So,
oh my God.
Like, you're making me lunch? I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, stop making me lunch. And then she gave you liverwurst. You're like, I don't even, the dog wants this. What is this? Yeah. my mom's side's German, right? So it's like, let's
Mhm.
torture the kids.
Oh my gosh.
So
Let
you
me
like
look at this
sauerkraut and all
one.
that?
Oh, I hate sauerkraut. I can't stand it. The
You
smell.
do?
Oh god, I hate it with a
I like
passion.
Sauerkraut's awesome.
My grandfather, before he passed away, right? Well, we called him
Mhm.
Opa, right? We used to go down and do this thing that was in a certain city, and it was like a German like arts and crafts festival, and they always would have the one vendor that was doing the German sausages on the buns and stuff, and he would always buy one to try to share with us, and he'd always put. You won't see the sausage; it's just a bun with sauerkraut. The sausage is drowning underneath, and he's like, "You have a bite." I'm like, "I don't like sauerkraut." "You'd like sauerkraut?" "No, I don't want sauerkraut." And he'd be like, "Oh, okay." And this is like an old big man, like he was 6'4". He smoked cigars every day. He had that throaty laugh, but he always tried to force the sauerkraut, and I was like, "Nah."
He did, yeah. Kraut dogs are the best. I love sauerkraut.
Get away
I
from me,
don't
theme
know
park.
why.
Oh, man.
I don't know why. I guess it's that small part of German background that I have that I actually see sauerkraut. I'm like, wow, this is some awesome stuff.
All right. So
I'll
have
take
you
the
had
homemade cheesecake.
cabbage, fried cabbage and bacon? That's another
Is
German thing.
That sounds familiar.
It's not Vouladen. Have you had Vouladen?
I don't know the names of them, but I know when my grandma was stationed in Europe and stuff, that was one of her favorite German foods. So maybe that's what it's called. But it's not necessarily put bacon. It could be other type of choice of meats or whatever with cabbage.
Yeah, I think Vouladen, you could do it in certain ways. Picture like roast beef with diced pickles and sometimes cabbage rolled up, and then you would like toothpick it. Like it would be very thickly rolled, about 1.5 inches thick, right? And then they throw it in the oven and covered in gravy. So it might have been Vouladen. Vouladen was great. My dad loved Vouladen. It's one of those things that it's like homey and it makes you feel warm inside.
Well, you said bacon, so I'll bet you I have probably had that in the South. Bacon and it's fried with sauerkraut. Yeah, I think I have seen that.
Now,
Yeah, ways of
thanks a lot.
making you-
We should stop making the chat hungry because they're going to start ordering the order.
I know. Well, let me move on. So, OG, so before I do that, 35 people watching. Thank you so much for being here. Please hit that like button. Share that stream out. So, OG, why don't you tell us what got you started with the YouTube channel?
What got me started is basically maybe what got a lot of people started like earlier on in that's The Last Jedi.
Oh,
man.
Yes.
Maybe I should start asking people, did you start a YouTube channel not because of The Last Jedi? It's so common.
Yeah. I was very, very, very upset with the direction they took Luke Skywalker because he's the one that got me really sealed into Star Wars and into the expanded universe. I wanted to know exactly what was going to happen with him, because he declared, "I'm a Jedi like my father before me." He had that great stance against the Emperor. So I was like, okay, I am curious. I wonder if he's going to, recreate the Order and bring in new Jedi, train new Jedi, So I got into the expanded universe because of Luke Skywalker. And then when I seen the direction, and I really did watch it, I did a lot of reviews. I watched, like a Robot Head and all of them, I watched the reviews and stuff and I'm like, oh, hell no. And so I was like, I need to be a voice. And what my voice I decided to be was to bring back and help with the expanded universe cause on, bringing it back into the limelight and bringing people back to it in a very respectful and keep it going kind of manner. And so that's the start of my platform, is more or less not to really bitch and complain. Well, I want to say bitch and complain, but to really share the points of what is destroying the franchise, more or less, but what is really good before the buyout.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and so I decided to do that, and then I'm like, okay, so I'll bring back the EU. I will, and one of my inspirations is Matt Wilkins, and his channel's all pre-Disney Star Wars EU, and I've had him on my channel before, and I've been on his now, and so he was my biggest inspiration as well. And so I decided to bring in lore, talk about the lore, and then compare and contrast between the original lore and the new lore. So people can decide for themselves what they like and what they don't like, between the two, or what is being like the blasphemy, I guess you can say, is being done to Disney or to Star Wars now. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's a good point about presenting information out there so your viewers can make their own decision about that. That's actually a very good premise. And I think that's why so many people one, love your coffee chats, and two, whenever somebody has a question about the lore, your name is like the first thing that falls out of their mouth.
Yeah, and I'm humble, and I'm like honored and humbled about that. I've been like, we've all been fans since we were little, and we all have our origin stories for Star Wars. And what's so funny is that seeing this group of women who creates this Project Stardust saying, "Oh, we were never included because of our gender," and I'm thinking, wow. Just because, and they explain why, and it's most likely, when they talk to a man or a male fan, the male fan asks them questions about it because that's what fans do. And then, or if the woman gets it wrong, those that are complaining, and then she gets corrected, then she thinks no matter what, how she's getting mansplained to or getting corrected by a man, she thinks that they are saying that she can't be a fan and they're excluding her and stuff. And I don't see it that way. And yeah, I've been a fan, since I was really, really little. I'm not going to give away my age here. And but from there, my majority of the female members of my family are female, and either they're Star Trek fans or they're Star Wars fans, or in between. So seeing that group of women come out and say, well, they weren't including us female fans and they talk us down and blah, 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 I think it's BS. I think that they're just projecting. I think that they're over exaggerating the situation, and they hate being corrected.
I would have to agree, because when that Project Stardust thing came out, I'm like, what the heck are they talking about? It's like I didn't understand that, because I had friends, not that there were a whole lot of them, but friends who were women and who were girls who liked Star Wars, who liked sci-fi. And there was always that stereotype of, okay, you have the Star Wars fans that are guys, and you have that small percentage that are women, but loved having them around. I think I was telling somebody before, like I've never felt anything but welcomed around Star Wars fans, especially Star Wars fans that were guys, because they wanted to keep you around. So it's not like they were doing stuff to piss you, to tick you off or say, no, you can't, you can't join this group or whatever. You can't like Star Wars. It's ridiculous. And I would have to agree with OG. A lot of it is projecting. Did somehow you feel that you couldn't be yourself and like Star Wars? Is it that you felt intimidated? Because in a way, there is a litmus test for being in the fandom. And I think that's kind of like what separates a thing from fake geek girls to real geek girls, because there's a certain level of knowledge that you need to have about it.
Can I ask a question quickly to add to that? I want a question. Do you think girls that play off the cosplaying in the skimpy like nerd culture outfits, do you think they're actual fans, or they're just doing it to feel like they're fans just to get attention?
All right. So if they're doing cosplaying and like let's just, for example, Star Wars, and they're doing Darth Talon or Twi'lek or Ayla Secura, or any one of them, or even Mara Jade, I would say that they have to have some knowledge within those characters to really cosplay them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
or even Princess Leia with the slave outfit. Now that one can kind of be like more casual to extreme fan, because we see her in the movie. So that one right there, I kind of think, oh wow, that might be the casual fan who is only a moviegoer, and so that's who they know to dress up as. But it could be all spectrums with that type of cosplay. But when you get into the EU, when you see Darth Talon or any type of Twi'lek or any type of Zeltron character like Dadia Blue or anyone like that that's being cosplayed, then you know that they probably did their homework. They probably love that character and have read about that character before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the John Beck has an interesting comment here. If they put a lot of effort into the cosplay, I think that's a fan effort of its own.
I
It
agree with
doesn't
that.
mean they know a lot, but it's expertise in a different
But
area.
the thing I'm trying to say is you can tell. Let's take it from a Twitch thought point of view. Do you think when you dress up in, let's say, a skimpy R2D2 bathing suit and wear like just a bunch of necklaces that say Star Wars, do you think you're actually doing it right, or you think you're just doing it for the attention? Because there are fans that cosplay right even better than Lucasfilm's actual costume design, and then you
Mhm.
have the other ones that pretend to like the whole subject or the sci-fi just because it's the thing at the moment. Like Anita trying to write
Um,
tweets.
I kind of in that point, I kind of agree, and I get it. It's kind of like if you like I always say this, it's like if you go to Disney and they sell like there's so much Star Wars merchandise that's out there. So if you have someone with just like a standard or just kind of like a dress or like a Star Wars dress that they have on. They don't really know anything about
Yeah.
the lore. They just know the dress look cool and they put it on. And then you have the people who are the fans who would get like a t-shirt that I did that had Star Wars on the front and it had 77 on the back. Now, if you are a diehard Star Wars fan, you know exactly why the number 77 is so
Mm-hmm.
important and why
Yeah.
you would do that.
Go
And I've
on.
seen people wear just like their cosplay, there's so much detail and effort put into it. So it's kind of like two levels. With cosplay, you have the people who that's their thing. So they're very, very detailed about getting the details right. So they care enough about the lore that they're trying to replicate with the cosplay that they're trying to make it as true to life as possible. And then
They're
you
showing
have
their heart.
exactly. They're showing their heart, they're showing reverence for the subject matter. And then you have the fans who they want to dress up as the character, but they get the general idea right. Even if someone who doesn't have a lot of money, they put together a cosplay together that if you looked at it, even though it's not as detailed as say the professional over there, you can tell that they have enough of the details right. They're not going to give you like a green and black R2D2. You know, they're not going to do that.
Well, if they're dressing up like R2D2, but they like have a bikini that is, blue and silver and white and necklaces with it, that's not cosplaying R2D2.
No, it's not.
If
No.
you're cosplaying R2D2, I could you roll out in a can, okay?
It's like
No, it's not
like
a barrel.
having-
It's R2D2's body. I swear. Don't look at my nipples. It's only 5 Jawas. Just give me 5 Jawas, and I will make your day so much better.
It's like you can't cosplay with like, an R2D2 or a Darth Vader purse. That's not really cosplay. It's a cool fashion outfit. But it's not really, it's not really cosplay.
So it comes to a point of like dedication. Doesn't matter how much you know, but it also could depend on how much detail you put in. But there are always going to be the types that pretend they know what they're doing, but it's more or less just to get something from people, especially viewers. And the reason why I brought up Twitch thoughts because there are people that do body painting and all that other crap, but I don't think they actually have a love for the sci-fi. They're just doing it because it's there at the moment, right?
I would have to agree. And OG, you can chime in here too.
Does that bother
have,
you? Wait, I wanted to add this. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but does that also bother you as being women who love Star Wars and sci-fi? Does that bother you in a way that it's kind of mutating the difference between fan and flaunting?
OG, you want to take that first?
Yeah, you know what? I say have fun.
Okay.
Of course, if you're going to dress up in a character that maybe is a part of the original EU, yeah, you're going to have to do your homework. And maybe that will spark your interest in wanting to know more about that character. Have fun. Be true to it. If you're going to cosplay, be very authentic. And be prepared by fans like me who will go up to you and say, okay, what do you know about that character?
Oh, good. That's what I wanted to hear. I love that answer. Because I want to see that. You pull out the checklist and you go, nope, 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 liar.
And I think that's what happened with some of the ladies that are claiming that they're not being accepted in the Star Wars universe or fandom, is that maybe they cosplay or maybe they did something and they were questioned and they didn't know the answer. So they figured, oh, well, this person thinks that I am not a true fan, and then they back to home. Yeah. And then
at the same time, wouldn't that give you drive if you were on that spectrum to learn about that character so you felt like you weren't being fake? Or do you think it just depends on the personality?
I think it depends on the
I'm sorry, I'm being
personality.
very
If
talkative
you
today. I'm sorry. It's most women I've
no,
ever
but
talked to today.
I think it also depends on if you care or not. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, OG.
Oh, I said quit mansplaining. No.
Mansplain with Darth Obese next on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
I think what about I think for some of them, and I almost want to say I forgot the question. I think for some of them, it's a fly by night thing. It's like that's the flavor of the week or thing to do is to okay, let me tap into this thing that's so popular, aka geek culture, but not be, of it.
Mhm.
And that's what some people are. It's very casual, very fly by night types of thing. And then you have the people who have been in this for years. They love it. They may dress up or whatever, but at the very least, they know the Lord. They love that particular fandom and they have a love for that. Even when things go south, your fly by night fan, which I would say like the Arnita Sarkeesians of the world, once they get bored with it, they moved on. When something
Yeah.
happens where they're not interested on, they're on to the next thing and they could care less.
Now, do you think Tom is trying
That
to get
is horrendous.
money? You see
Oh,
that
that's
picture?
funny.
Do you think Tom right now is trying to get money right now, or he knows the lore of the bikini?
Oh
I am
my
so
gosh,
dead.
that is you. Oh
Blow me up
Lord.
quickly so everyone can see. Just blow it up quickly.
Oh
Good,
my
good.
gosh. I'm gonna have to.
Look at that. Look at
Lord.
that. That's sexy right there, don't you think, guys? That's
Oh
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Wait till we freaking send that to Tom. You know what? Oh gosh,
Oh
40
God.
people watching. Let me catch up on the chat here a little bit. Let's see.
And I
Oh
do
crap. Where did we
apologize
go?
for over talking a
Where did
lot.
we
It's just
go?
it's nice having a conversation.
Oh, we're
Really.
good. It's all right. We regulate here. Snail
I'm
Messiah
tired.
says Reina Creole. If you're fired, I'd kick you off screen. I'm not. Snail
Hashtag
Messiah says
unemployed.
I get excited when a POC is into geek stuff, Star Wars, Star Trek, etc. It means we can talk about something we're both into. Living in Denmark, there aren't that many POCs, especially geeky ones. Okay, you're in Denmark. Yeah, that's like a small percentage, and I think it's all about what people were into. I would kind of flip this, like say if it was a convention about rap music, you would see a lot more I don't like the term people of color, but we'll just say you would see a lot more blacks and Latinos than you would like say white or Asian, and that's just because of the prevalence and relevance to the subject matter. I mean, rap isn't something that's being talked a lot or done a whole lot, like say in Asia or in Europe. However, I remember when I visited Europe, it seemed like the likes of Jay-Z was a lot bigger over in Europe than it was over here, in the United States. So that's kind of like a flip side, kind of give you an idea. But that's cool. Know where people are. Joyce says, Reina Creole, I was off from work today, so I thought I would chill with you guys. So glad you are chilling with us, my dear. I saw your tweet about comment about grits. I love shrimp and grits. Shrimp and grits is off the chain. Let's see. In the line of the 77 you're hinting at. Yes, true story. In Philadelphia, when you didn't have to wear a mask, they had the Philadelphia Symphony Orchestra do the score live to The Empire Strikes Back. I think it was at the Mann Music Center, and fans showed up. And I swear, every place I looked, that same Star Wars 77 T-shirt was out there. So it was cool seeing everybody in their stuff. You had cosplayers, you had everything. It was just cool. It was just
I
cool.
cosplayed as a thin guy. It worked great. That's just good sideways and said, don't look at me. Yeah.
G says I cheaped out on my R2 cosplay, just hopped in a 2-wheelie bin and I got someone to push me around.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God.
Holy crap.
No, I'm not Radio Flyer. I'm Radio R2.
Oh my God. Hey Jane, rap is probably bigger in Europe than anywhere. Yeah, it is. I tell people it's amazing how far rap has traveled. It's amazing. It's amazing. It is a worldwide phenomenon.
Keeper here. I was requested. Okay, where is it?
Yeah, listening to Italian rap it's fun to listen to that too, like in Italian and stuff. Because I stayed in Italy for like 3 weeks. So I established residency there and then came home. Yeah, so it's amazing, the culture, and they're so fascinated with people that are not from their country and stuff. Like I was like, oh, you're Milano, which means mixed blood or whatever, or darker or whatever. And they're like, and then they would be fascinated. Oh, well, what are you? And then say I'm Native American, Asian, and oh God, they were just like so interested, so wanting to learn, and had so much compassion and stuff. And it was just an amazing trip to be in Italy for 3 weeks. So
yeah.
Before Jane leaves, sorry, that sounds out. Before Jane leaves, there's a little share screen for it. This was a request from somebody random. So there you go. There's your Battlestar Galactica ruined for you, Jane. Just for you.
Why did you do that to Jamie Bamber? I met him. Oh,
fat bastard!
Get in my belly.
I'm bigger than you. I like my baby back ribs.
Hey, Barbie. So glad you're here. RC from the NYC. Good afternoon, my queen. Good day, my lady OG. Good day, King Fat Steven. What's up, chat?
Hey,
Hope everyone is well and safe. So good to see you here, RC. And we have Sir Talks a Lot laughing.
Give RC some kind of prop. Man, he called me king. That's the first time anyone's called me king without sarcasm.
Looks like Baron Harkonnen from Dune. That's good.
Oh my God.
That's a good one. Oh my gosh. 40 people watching the stream. Thank you so much. Please do hit that like button. And with about 12 minutes left in the show, I definitely wanted to talk about this topic. And I think, as we discussed in the back room, when it comes to The Mandalorian, as someone who I didn't know anything about The Mandalorians, whatever at all. I only know the first 6 movies, and I refuse to acknowledge the sequel trilogy, but that was my level of knowledge. So I'm like, okay, if you're introducing, quote unquote, The Mandalorian, there must be something special about this particular character in the Star Wars universe that I am going to find out about him. And I would say after about 11, 12 episodes or something like that, watching it, this is pretty much the impression that I get. And shout out to CJ, the fandom menace, for putting this together.
The babysitter. That's awesome.
This is the impression that I have of it. And I'm like, I can't just be the only one. Because if I'm watching the show, I'm just like, with just the movies, just having that knowledge, I'm like, okay, I'm expecting to see something different. I'm expecting to, find out more about who this guy is, whose getup looks a lot like Boba Fett's. That's what I'm looking forward to finding out about. And I'm not getting that. So what I wanted to ask you, and I know it's a loaded question, but that's why I have you here, your impressions of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, for folks who don't know.
All right, yeah. So I went into it with curiosity. Oh hell no!
There you go. There's canon for you.
Oh my God! Okay, my train of thought went boom somewhere else now, because that's hilarious.
Do it.
Oh hell. Okay. And there's another take. So basically, yes, I agree. This is adventures in babysitting, and Mandalorian style. And I went into it with curiosity because I wanted to see the direction they're going to take the Mandalorian culture, so I can have a better idea of comparing, contrasting between this new established lore with the Mandalorian versus the old. And what I found out is, like, season 1 is basically Din Djarin's backstory when he was found as a youngling or a foundling is that's the same exact arc as Jango Fett's. In the original lore, Jango Fett was, he's from Concord Dawn, which is basically another planet in the Mandalorian system. And there are Mandalorians from Concord Dawn as well as Mandalorian. And in the original culture, you didn't have to be born on Mandalore to be a Mandalorian. And you don't have to be human to be a Mandalorian. So there's some changes that they made there. And so, you know, Jango Fett was found as a foundling and adopted by Jester Morel. And he was raised a Mandalorian. And how he became the one to be the template for the clone army is because he entered the contest of like this battle contest, I guess. I'm not probably saying it right, but and he survived in because of how brutal he is because he's a Mandalorian. And in the lore, Mandalorians helped. Not only did Jango Fett, you know, train the elite ARC troopers, but Mandalorians also came in and helped train the troops as well. So that's a little bit of backstory for in the original lore. And so basically we have the Mandalorian who basically was found the same way that Jango Fett was found as a youngling. And going through that and going into season 2 now, and finding out now that he's the Children of the Watch. Well, going back in history for the Clone Wars, we have the pacifist Mandalorians under Satine, and basically they gave up all the warrior culture of Mandalore. And Mandalorian was a really well-crafted, created culture by Karen Travis, who also made a language behind it. So that's how well that culture has been established in the EU pre-Disney. So we have the pacifists who gave up the Mandalorian cultures, and then we have the ones that they called extreme, which is called Death Watch. And so they followed the Resonari, which is the Mandalorian code and the culture, which was basically established by the species called the Tong, which became extinct. And now, fast forward, yeah, the Tong, 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 Tong.
Cisco did that song, right? I'm getting
yeah, and then to fast forward into now that they have the Child of the Watch, so that means, you know, like Bo-Katan is still within the realms of the Death Watch, and now, and then she says the Children of the Watch are extremists, just like the pacifists told Bo-Katan's group that they're extremists. So now she's saying this new group that Din is under are extremists, and they follow the ancient culture of the Mandalorian. So it's like, what is it? You know, we have in the past under the Clone Wars them doing the same thing, but to explain the helmet now, they're saying that, you know, Din or the Mandalorian is now of extremist culture. So what is it? You know, is Bo-Katan and them not really following the Mandalorian culture as well? So it's very, very confusing right now in the Mandalorian sense of the culture. Now with Baby Yoda, I'm not a big fan of Baby Yoda. I mean, yeah, he's cute.
No. But that's the one thing I can get from Baby Yoda in general. There we go. You like that? I did that like a while back. I wanted to do the edit that someone showed of Ryan, so I got a different picture of Ryan and put Sheridan as Baby Yoda.
Oh my god!
But the best thing I find about Baby Yoda is that Pedro Pascal, like Voldemort right now, he is literally a sidekick to a puppet. And for some reason, that brings me so much more joy that he is now not only a voice actor because he's throwing fits more than anyone else I know. He is literally a prop to a puppet. And you don't get a career out of that. And that's hilarious. And I'm surprised no one has done this. I was talking this with Mad today, that no one has done the GIF, done a GIF or a remake. You know, the one from Game of Thrones where he's getting his eyes crushed out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they do the mountain crushing his eyes. Well, they could have they have to insert the Mandalorian helmet beside it, the head where it's getting crushed, and you can just have Baby Yoda on the mountain's head.
Oh my god! Holy crap! Okay,
Is
so
it mind blowing?
Yeah. I'm gonna sum this up with this though, with the Mandalorian. We are watching a game plot in a TV show go down. It's like, go meet this guy, get this credits, do this, and go here to find where you need to go next. So it feels like a game. It feels like a game plot going on. And there's a lot more fillers in such a small time period than we do have plot and what needs to be done. And then also what also kind of like made me frustrated is not only Pedro's, well, that was not more than frustration. He kind of like turned me off to even watching the show, but how he treated the fans on their political stance. But also another thing that really got me is how I lost my train of thought. See, because that's how much I don't like his stance. It's like another things Disney Star Wars is allowing their associates to do is badmouth the fans. And we have this adventures in babysitting and this arc of finding the Jedi now for Baby Yoda, and then they're like, oh well, go find Ahsoka, and she's not a Jedi. She's not a Jedi. And we're in a time period where we should see Luke Skywalker in his, I wouldn't say prime, but in him establishing the Jedi. And they should know about him already. I don't care who you are, because he's such a big, huge, pivotal character within the galaxy's destruction of the Empire. And also bringing back a lightsaber carrier that's bringing back the Jedi way. Who wouldn't know about that? Because he was well known during that time period. Because this is the same time. If you look at the time period between the old and new lore, Heir to the Empire, or Thrawn's trilogy is 9 ABY, and Mandalorian is 9 ABY, or something like that. And so they're going on parallel with each other. And everybody knows Luke Skywalker in the original lore, and he goes and asks permission to restart the Jedi Order with the New Republic. They grant him their blessings, and he's worried about how he's going to go about and train his future niece and nephew, the twins, and his sister and stuff, and how he's going to train without anybody turning dark. And then we have the Mandalorian, where no one knows about the Jedi or Luke, but yeah, go find Ahsoka.
Yeah, hold on. It's true. So Jedi Padawan trailer says Ahsoka is Dave Filoni's wish fulfillment. And Alex Kogan says Filoni was being Disney before Disney came into the picture.
And I'm sorry, OG. I didn't mean to get you distracted with the BS of that stuff, but I get where you're coming from. It feels like they're taking lore, they're destroying timelines, and they're convoluting it with member berries and other stuff, which is not making it relevant storytelling within itself. Is that kind of what you're saying? Your mic's muted.
OG?
It sounds like the awkward silence when I asked her.
OG, you're muted. OG, come back.
What did I do?
Uh-oh.
Intermission.
No.
Bow, 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 bow.
No, she may be stuck. She might have to reconnect. OG, can you hear us?
I didn't do it.
Oh, I know you didn't.
Oh my God.
But before she gets back to answer, I know for me, even with just knowing the movies, yes, continuity is one of Disney's biggest problems with Star Wars. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they do not have a reputable showrunner. And this is what I tell people. The showrunner is the one who's responsible for making sure the continuity is intact. Soap operas are experts at this type of thing. Because if you try to put two characters together for a certain relationship, they know for years who works, who doesn't, why this doesn't work, who was dead, who came back, who's really dead for real, what happened here, what happened there. You have people who make sure that those timelines aren't violated. And with Disney, it feels like they, for whatever reason, just because they feel like it, they'll just go and change the timeline. They'll change the timeline. Yeah, absolutely. So you'll throw off the people like me. We see the movies. I'm like, we know what happened in the 6 movies, but yet you're going to try this particular thing. And even though we may not have read things in the EU, we have a good feeling that something is not quite right here.
No.
All right, sorry, my mouse. Yeah, my mouse. Okay. I had new batteries in it. I swear to God, it's like this last couple of days has been such.
Okay, my dear. Hey, Steve. He says Filoni was the guy who suggested doing that crap to Luke in The Last Jedi. He is. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. I agree. It's even written in there, the Art of the Rise of Skywalker, about his suggestion of, basically just scrapping Luke and all the significance that Luke, was about, and all his accomplishments. But yes, I do agree that there's too many member berries. Yeah, I get it. It's after the OT, and they want to kind of keep that kind of atmosphere going. But the thing is I didn't need to see this character from Aftermath, Voss, ride in on part of a remake of Anakin Skywalker's Pod Racer. How did that happen? It's just for member berries. Why wasn't he just on a regular
exactly
speeder?
And then
the same thing with the R5 droid that was from New Hope, from the Jawa scene. They pulled that out.
Yeah. I really didn't need to see that either, because why, it's so random there. But that wasn't needed. That was just thrown in like, oh yeah, I remember New Hope.
Can you say that the same thing?
Huh?
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but you can say that this kind of the same thing with the crate worm, right? Because they use the crate worm.
That's what I was going to say.
But a lot of people who don't play the game wouldn't understand what it is, because they're throwing in member berries, but they're not throwing the attachment or a little bit of information behind it of why it's significant. So it's leaving a lot of viewers that aren't well endowed with information about Star Wars going, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing.
It's a detachment.
Oh, go ahead, OG.
Okay, so with the crate dragon, how they did that, was kind of, I would say, weird. Everybody was very confused what it was, even though we kind of had an idea, because it looked more like a trimmer's worm than anything else. Like
exactly. Can I just say how pissed off I was?
Yeah.
It was just, I have to add how pissed off I was, and it kind of add to what where's Stig's other comment? No, we talked about Filoni, but yes, you don't have to read the EU at all. The main problems from Disney comes from Disney not following the 6 movies. Absolutely, because when he said crate dragon, okay, for me in my brain, I'm like, okay, A New Hope. Obi-Wan did the crate dragon call. The Sand people were scared as hell of them. So it must be some big, huge, ominous Game of Thrones dragon looking thing. And what we got was a Dune worm. So already I'm just like, this makes no freaking sense.
Can I ask one quick question?
This makes no sense.
I have one quick question. You remember the one episode where they had fat Mr. Miyagi in the X-Wing and Dave Filoni in the other?
Yeah.
Does anyone else wish that the Mandalorian shot Filoni and blew up his ship? Just
I would not be upset.
And I call him Fat Mr. Miyagi because he reminds me of a Fat Mr. Miyagi. So that's his new hashtag, Fat Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, and that was kind of funny when we had the X-Wings come up and saying your transponder code, it's not registering, we need, your information, because they're basically police. And in Disney Star Wars, they basically almost demilitarized after they defeated, like a year after they defeated the Empire, which in the EU, it takes them a long time. They don't even demilitarize because they're still cleaning up, and it takes them a very long time to even get Coruscant back, and all that. So we have all these different campaigns because we have the Empire scattered in different systems. Some of them didn't even know that the Emperor fell.
And they were still building at shipyards and such too. They were actually still going on with special projects like this. Was it the Star Crusher or the Sun Crusher that Han and Chewie stole? I think it was the Star Crusher, right?
Yeah, they had the so they had that Star one, and and so we have that, and then so they demilitarize, and the X-Wings are just basically policing. And there was a great chance, and I understand that his ship was not all that, and how can the friggin' ship fly in space when it's basically destroyed, and like the cockpit, basically that spider like rammed its legs right through the transperistyle or the windows, and he goes and wields it back, which doesn't make sense, and it doesn't mean it's pressurized for space at all. And I've talked about that a little bit on Twitter, and people were like, like attacking me on that.
It's just amazing. And I've seen this happen on Twitter with you, OG, and we'll kind of wrap it up. Just how much pushback and vitriol that you will get on Twitter just for pointing out, look, This is what the original canon says, and this is how Disney violates it.
Yeah.
And you will get people who will get so pissed off and will call you all kinds of everything because how dare you happen to point that out?
Yeah,
Because
it's I know, I get it. They want to love Star Wars. Mandalorian, and they didn't, the bar's not set very high at all because of the sequel trilogy.
Nope.
And this Mandalorian, kind of is above that bar that's so lowered that, people want great Star Wars, and I get it. They want some great stories. They want to see Star Wars continued. I get it. When we got comic 108 for Legends, oh my God, that was the best-selling comic when it came out, versus Disney comics. And so I get it. But the thing is like, people know me. Well, if you know me, I'll compare and contrast and say, hey, that quite doesn't make sense. And I'll point things out. But again, like you said, they get so upset because they don't want anything wrong. They don't want to hear that. They just want to love it. And you could still love someone and acknowledge or something and acknowledge the flaws.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey,
just
Lady Matt.
remember one thing. Just say this to yourself. I've heard it before. The Force is butt sex. Because when you think of that line, it's pretty much it describes all of the sequel trilogy, pretty much right there. The Force is butt sex.
It's just nuts. Those fans are corporate shills, literally like a cult following. There used to be a time where if you didn't like something, especially in the fandom, it was okay to agree to disagree on it. And now it's like, if you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. Like, it was Steve saying The Mandalorian is made for sheep and the sheep love it. The Mandalorian is basically made for mass consumption. I would not say that it is for your diehard Star Wars fan, because we were saying this back in the green room. The Mandalorian is okay sci-fi. Is it good Star Wars? Absolutely not.
It's an overzealous cartoon with real life actors. That's all it is.
That's what it is. And I pointed that out season 1. When you watch, and I'll just bring it up, when you watch Filoni's episode, that you could tell it's a Clone Wars cartoon with physical characters. And it was it was not the best one ever. I think
we're gonna get into Clone Wars.
Yeah, Chow's episode was the best out of season 1. That hands down. Hers was the best, but probably because of her experience. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I had to bring this up before we close.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and
that makes you feel better now?
The Mandalorian is a hub for 2 other spin-off shows. Yeah, Steve, I'd heard that same thing, and it's very obvious. It's very obvious with how they're setting it up. Because, like I told someone, there's no excuse for the season to start with the filler that it did. No, it didn't. That just freaking violates.
There's one more thing I want to add. Like, you guys have watched OG. You haven't watched the latest episode, but you have, Lorena, right?
I haven't.
Okay. You remember? I think it was the episode with the music that was badly placed in this season. Remember that? Remember how we were talking about the Crate Chicken episode where he was arriving to the planet Tatooine and the music was off for what it was? That same music, I swear to God, was just copy and pasted from this episode, because this episode had the same tune after he was doing that flying maneuver. I'm not going into it too far into depth. It was exactly the same music.
With me, I don't care, but I mean, probably fans.
You remember the music where he was arriving to Tatooine in the first episode of season 2? Yeah. Remember that kind of very glorious music which didn't fit, especially if he's being chased? They used the same music for when he was fighting TIE fighters in this episode, and after he got the last TIE fighter, played the same music. So I'm literally think they don't know how to make music for the parts in the show.
They don't, and it's ridiculous because, like I've said in other episodes of the show, the person who does the music is the same guy who did the musical score for Black Panther and the same one for Tenet. So he can do a pretty good job. So why he's not doing better with The Mandalorian, I have no idea, besides the fact that he's not John Williams. But anyway, but to wrap it up, folks.
That sums it up right there.
Didn't even know that. If you are not subscribed to OG Star Wars, please subscribe to her. She is awesome. She knows more about Star Wars lore than anyone, Stig would probably defer to her. I'll let you two duke that out, because as far as I'm concerned, there's OG and there's Stig Kenobi, and I kind of see them both together whenever I want to dabble into the EU. They're my go-to people. So definitely please do sub to her. OG, do you have anything that's coming up that you'd like everyone to know about?
All right. For first and foremost, I did announce that during this finishing up the semester of college work, I won't have any lore videos out. So I apologize, but when spring comes here, I'll have more lore. So we'll have more fun with that and go deep into characters and other developments within the original EU. Coming up on December 3rd, myself with Stig and Rev Kev and Teresa Martin, we are going to review Shadows of the Empire, which is a great multimedia project which includes the novel, games, comics, etc., even its own soundtrack.
With the game.
Nice.
Yes. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about mainly about the novel, but it's a great novel segue between episode 5 and 6. And so I recommend, if you guys haven't picked it up yet, get Shadows of the Empire. You get to learn how Luke continues to train in events in his Jedi training, and him making his lightsaber, and how they plan a rescue. And there's so much in story, in depth, lore in that between the 2 episodes. And so we're going to talk about that. Of course, coffee chat every morning at 9 a.m. when we're going through the Clone Wars comics of the Clone Wars multimedia project. And then, of course, Toxic Femininity with Reina every Monday on the Midnight's Edge After Dark, or one of those channels. And
they're the main one. Yeah, Midnight's Edge.
The main one. And then we are on Queen's Council, but I think we're taking a break. So I will announce when we come back. And what else is there? And then Babe de Menace. So yes, for the main ones right now. Again, I won't have any lore videos out until I get through this semester, which is friggin' a huge workload of schoolwork right now.
Huge.
So.
I hear you, girl.
When can we expect another Toxic Femme episode about the boob armor? Because everyone's wanting a part 2. Shut up, I'll talk now. Just gonna go over it.
If Anita finds out about boobs some more and decides to rear her ugly head, then maybe we'll see a part 2.
Oh hell yeah!
But
I'll get a bunch of single dollar bills.
But until then, enjoy the Boob Gate episode that is on Midnight's Edge new channel, the one that's specifically where they're going to archive their live episodes. And I believe it's called Midnight's Edge Live. So definitely please do subscribe to them. And before I forget, folks, for the rest of the day for your Fandom Menace Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Culture will have his pre-flight show that'll be coming up. And I believe around 3:15 or so, Latino Slant will have his Media Latino, basically This Week in News, on his channel. So that's about 3:15 after Culture show pops up. Oh, am I missing something, Steve?
Yeah, there's one more. Ord's Board is doing the F-Off Fridays with the Among Us cast as usual. We might have some new guests playing, but that is also, I think, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m.?
I could be incorrect. Yeah, so if you want to hear a bunch of people swearing, telling Runner to shut up, and a whole lot of killing, murder, and laughing, possibly drinking, check that out. It's fun.
I will check that out. I will probably be heavily medicated with flu medication, but I will be on the couch watching you guys laughing my ass off. But before Origin Stream, definitely do check out, of course, Friday Night Tights, where it seems like all my friends, we try to talk to each other in the chat, and the chat goes by so fast, but definitely do check them out. So just to recap, Culture Show at 2, Paulie Latino Slant Show at 3:15, Friday Night Tights around 5:30, or whenever the guys decide they're ready to go live and Lady Gravemaster rounds them up, and Ords' gaming stream at 10 p.m. for the fun with watching the usual suspects play Among Us. So with that said, you guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining the stream. For those of you watching the replay, thanks so much for watching the replay with our special guest, OG StarWars, and we will see you next time. Take care, everyone.
Fat. I am fat. I am so fat. I am fat. I am so fat.